good, everyone? So, I'm gonna come clean. I'm aware that before this video, this channel was meant to be a sports-only channel, hence the name Nation's Sports Talk or Sports Channel. I can't even remember what the name was. But it turns out that I like things other than sports. Recently, I've been listening to Eminem off the charts. Pretty much exclusively at this point. Most of the music that I consume right now is Eminem. At first, it was just the Eminem Show, which is, it was like a CD that my parents burned a long time ago, and whatever, we were listening to it. But recently, I've decided to go through his entire discography. And I've now listened to his first 3 albums, which are the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, and the Eminem Show, respectively. I've heard most of the early stuff that Eminem put out. Let me say, while most of it's definitely good, there is definitely some disturbing shit in there. So today I wanted to make a video about the top 5, since I love those kind of videos, the top 5 most disturbing songs to me within these inaugural 3 albums. Again, Slim was on Lord knows how many drugs back then, and now that he's sobered up, there are 2 songs on this list that he doesn't even perform anymore. Despite them being disturbing, those 2 songs, despite 2 of the songs on this list being disturbing, he's received tons of critical acclaim for some of these songs, for 2 of them specifically. And both of them appear in the top 15 of the best Eminem songs of all time, according to the Rolling Stones list. Either way, I'm here to supply some disturbing stuff from the mind of Mr. Mathers, so I will deliver. Now let's get into this list, my friends. Alrighty, so before getting to number 5, I'd like to just clear a couple things up. I do have a script here that I wrote earlier today, so when you see me glancing down, I'm reading it. Another thing to address the elephant in the room, this is a practice room at Ithaca, since I am at college, at Ithaca College, and you're going to hear a bassoon, because that's what's playing over there, and you're going to hear probably a piano, because that's what's playing over there, but do your best to ignore it, as goofy as it may sound, because I am too. So, anyway, let's get to number 5, which is My Fault, from the Slim Shady LP. So the song My Fault is a song about a fake story that Eminem made up, where Eminem goes to a rave with a couple friends and meets Susan, a girl at the rave who decides to follow him around and take drugs with him. While doing shrooms, M takes 3 caps, while Susan, who knows nothing about the effects of mushrooms, ends up taking 22 caps. This puts her in a bad trip, and she begins telling Eminem all of her childhood trauma. So for this list, for each segment, I've decided to include a couple of horrendous lines, I'm calling them, from each song to convey why they're disturbing. So here are a few from this. The world's not against you. I'm sorry your father raped you. So what, you had your little coochie in your dad's mouth. This next line's from Susan's POV. Leave me alone, Dad. I'm sick of getting my hair pulled. And then this is Eminem. Now she's upstairs, crying out her eyeballs, drinking Lysol. This song is played as satirical because it conveys disturbing lines with a groovy beat and a humorous chorus. However, at the end the tables turn, and Eminem believes that he may have killed Susan. Overdosing on shrooms doesn't seem to be the reason why, because that's relatively rare and it's not usually deadly. However, Eminem is also high in the song, so he probably imagines her crashing or sleeping as her being dead. While she may not be actually dead in the story, especially considering this is completely fake, Eminem puts on a pretty believable performance at the end of the song to convey that he may have just killed someone. Alright, on to number 4. Alright, so now on to number 4, which is Stan from the Marshall Mathers LP. So this is one of the very first songs on Eminem's second album, and it details a fan that is so obsessed with Eminem that he writes to him multiple times throughout the song, with each of the first 3 verses in the song being a message from Stan to M. He ends up becoming so upset when Eminem doesn't respond to his messages within 6 months of his first letter that he ties his wife up in the trunk of his car and goes drunk driving off a bridge, killing himself and his wife in the process. As the song progresses, Stan becomes more and more obsessive and disturbed, as shown by these lines. Sometimes I even cut myself to see how much it bleeds. It's like adrenaline. The pain is such a sudden rush for me. My girlfriend's jealous because I talk about you 24/7. P.S. We should be together too. I loved you, Slim. We could have been together. Think about it. So during the 3rd verse of this song, Stan is recording a tape to send to Eminem of his suicide. However, he realizes he won't be able to send it, but he realizes it too late and ends up dying before he can do anything about it. In the 4th and final verse, Eminem finally writes back, apologizing for taking so long and taking interest in parts of Stan's life that he told M about in the previous letters. However, he realizes that he just saw someone on the news that drove over the side of a bridge that had the same name as him, and they said that the guy, Stan, had a tape on him. He realizes that this is the same person that was sending him those letters, and that he likely caused the death of the likely mentally ill Stan. So not only is this one of Eminem's most acclaimed songs, it inspired a term still used in today's, pop culture, that being Stan, a super fan of a particular celebrity, sometimes in obsessive ways, just like the character in this song. While disturbing, this song is a cornerstone of Eminem's career and one of his most famous works, and it is definitely a recommended listen from me. That was one of my top 5 songs from those first couple albums. Very good. On to number 3. All right, number 3 on the list is called 97 Bonnie and Clyde from the Slim Shady LP. So this song is another hypothetical story about Eminem having killed his ex-wife, Kim Scott, and putting her in the trunk of his car. In the song, he picks up his and Kim's daughter, Haley, from somewhere, we don't know where, and takes her to help him dump Kim's dead body in a lake, while trying to convince her nothing is wrong with her mother the entire time, even though Kim is dead. So this is the crazier part. At the time of this album's release, Haley would have been 3 years old. However, in 1997, which is 97 Bonnie and Clyde is 1997, where this song is apparently taking place, Haley would have been just 1 year old. So here are some disturbing lines from this song. There's a good amount. Oh, where's Mama? She's taking a little nap in the trunk. Oh, that smell? Dada must have run over a skunk. Don't play with Dada's toy knife, honey, let go of it. This is a long passage right here. And Mama said she wants to show how far she can float, and don't worry about that little boo-boo on her throat. It's just a little scratch, it don't hurt. Her was eating dinner while you were sleeping and spilled ketchup on her shirt. Mama's messy, isn't she? We'll let her wash off in the water, and me and you can play by ourselves, can't we? And then to Haley, he says, sit back in your chair, honey, quit trying to climb out. Mama's too sleepy to hear you screaming in her ear. Dada made a nice bed for Mommy at the bottom of the lake. Here, you want to help Dada tie a rope around this rock? We'll tie it to her footsie, then we'll roll her off the dock. There goes Mama splashing in the water. No more fighting with Dad, no more restraining order. No more stepdada, no more new brother. Blow her kisses bye-bye, tell Mama you love her. So as you can see, there are a lot of horrible quotes from this song. I'm not sure how Kim reacted to this song. There isn't anything related to that on the internet. However, this was written during a time when Kim was keeping Eminem away from her and Haley, hence the restraining order line. As we'll see again in this list later on, Eminem's most aggressive and disturbing stuff comes when somebody in his family pisses him off. In this song's case, regardless of it being a completely fake story, this is just one disturbing-ass song from M. Just on to number 2. Alrighty, so number 2 is called Cleaning Out My Closet from the Eminem Show. So this is the only song on this list from this album, spoiler alert. But there's a reason why this is so high on the list. While I think 97 Bonnie and Clyde is probably worse, this is one of the 2 songs Eminem won't perform anymore. A small list that includes only the number 1 song on this list, as well as this. So this song, while focused on other parts of the family as well, mainly attacks his mother, Debbie Nelson. He completely rips into her throughout the song and even reveals some disturbing stuff she said to him in the past. So here are some lines. These are going to have a little more context around them because they need to be explained to be understood. So the first one has the F slur in it. I'm obviously not going to say that. So it's my blank father must have had his panties up in a bunch because he's split. I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. No, I don't. On second thought, I just fucking wished he would die. But the smartest shit I did was take them bullets out of that gun, 'cause I'd have killed him. Shit, I would have shot Kim and him both. So this line refers to when he saw Kim kissing another man at a nightclub and reportedly pistol whipped the guy. This, actually, fun fact, this is later reenacted in the skit The Kiss later on in this album, right before Soldier. So that's the context of that skit. He's saying that if the gun had been loaded, he would have shot the guy and Kim out of pure anger and killed them both. But put yourself in my position. Just try to envision witnessing your mama popping prescription pills in the kitchen. Going through public housing systems, victim of Munchausen syndrome. My whole life I was made to believe I was sick when I wasn't, till I grew up. Now I blew up. It makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? So Munchausen syndrome is a condition where a person will pretend to be chronically ill at all times in order to garner sympathy from other people and have others take care of their every need. Eminem sees himself as a victim of this, having to bend to his sick mother's will. This one's long. But guess what? You're getting older now, and it's cold when you're lonely. And Nathan's growing up so quick he's going to know that you're phony. And Haley's getting so big now, you should see her. She's beautiful, but you'll never see her. She won't even be at your funeral. See, what haunts me the most is you won't admit you were wrong. Bitch, do your song. Keep telling yourself that you was a mom. But how dare you try to take what you didn't help me to get? You selfish bitch, I hope you fucking burn in hell for this shit. So Nathan Mathers, referenced earlier in that line, was Eminem's half-brother. He took custody of Nathan after the state took him away from Debbie. He was 16 when this album was released. But you can really feel in that last quote, there's so much anger there. Remember when Ronnie died and you said you wished it was me? Well, guess what? I am dead. Dead to you as can be. So Ronnie, this is a reference to Ronnie Polkingham. That was Marshall's uncle, or Debbie's brother. However, Ronnie was only around half a year older than Em, with the two growing up more like brothers. So Ronnie influenced Mathers' early interest in hip-hop and rap music. Unfortunately, Ronnie committed suicide in 1991. This line presumably references a conversation where Debbie said she wished it was Marshall who committed. If that's true, personally, I think that is one of the worst things you could ever say to a human being. And by that alone, I can understand why Eminem decided to make this song, and that he shouldn't regret it, to be honest. So while, again, this isn't the most violent song on the list, this one is grounded in some pretty messed up stuff. Eminem will no longer perform it, as after going sober and making amends with his mother, he finds the song offensive, though he hasn't removed it from any streaming services or from YouTube. So he doesn't deny what he did, but he finds it offensive himself. Now on to number 1, and boy oh boy, this one's a doozy. Alrighty folks, here we are at number 1, and the number 1 is called Kim from the Marshall Mathers LP. So this is one of those 2 songs that Eminem will no longer perform. This song was so crazy disturbing that it actually caused his ex-wife Kim to attempt suicide after seeing Em perform it in concert. After this attempt on her life, Eminem never once performed the song in public again. Apparently, it's a prequel to 97 Bonnie and Clyde, as it shows the events before M killed Kim in this fake story. This song can be described by me as purely as Eminem screaming at Kim for 6 minutes. There are so many lines that I could put here. Practically the whole song is full of them, besides the chorus. I'll drop a couple, but I would implore you, if you want to understand the pure brutality of this song, just listen to yourself. Listen to it yourself, because I can't convey it. I'm just reading it. Anyway, here are the quotes. By the way, in this song, Eminem both narrates himself and Kim. So, context. So Kim talking to M says, "We can't just leave Haley alone. What if she wakes up?" And then Eminem says, "We'll be right back." "Well, I will. You'll be in the trunk." And the rest of these is Eminem. "You can't run from me, Kim. It's just us, nobody else. You're only making this harder on yourself. Go ahead. Yell. Here, I'll scream with you. Ah, somebody help. Don't you get it, bitch? No one can hear you. Now shut the fuck up and get what's coming to you." And then this is just Eminem screaming. "Now bleed, bitch. Bleed, bitch, bleed. Bitch, bleed, bleed." And that's after he's cut her throat in the song, by the way. Just, as you can probably tell from these lyrics alone, this song is not meant for the faint of heart, which is probably why Kim attempted to take her own life after seeing and hearing this in concert. To me, at least in his early years, Eminem did not make a song more disturbing than this one. Even if this is a fake storyline, it still shows how messed up in the head he was at the time, and how his addiction to drugs and his immense anger at everything in his life except for his daughter caused him to make some truly upsetting material, including this song, especially this song. Alrighty, so now we're done with the video. I wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. I'm aware that this is not what you signed up for in terms of the content, but I promise you I actually will be getting back to sports stuff in just a little bit. I know that the production value is at an all-time low since I'm away at college. However, I still want to make videos and produce content because it's fun for me to yap and have people watch it and be interested in it. Don't expect uploads, especially ones about music, to be a regular thing. I may want to make a video about my favorite Eminem songs, or maybe an album ranking, like a song ranking for the Eminem show, because I've listened to that album an ungodly amount of times, and I could probably make one just in 5 minutes and then whoosh. But my next video will likely not be music related. I actually have a plan for my next video is going to be. I'm going to do like a kind of a recap of my fantasy baseball league. Spoiler alert, people stopped paying attention to it as soon as we got to June, but I didn't. I was keeping track of everything. So I'll be able to make a full recap upon every match that I was in. But the league's not over yet. We're in the semifinals right now. But I'll probably be making it day in and day out throughout the next couple weeks whenever I can come back to one of these rooms and record. I will do that. And I want to keep, sending out videos. Since I'm away from my home base, so to speak, my actual home, I don't have access to like the editing software I got so I can make more videos. I don't feel like getting it on this computer because it can barely handle this. Even this computer's kind of trash, so this is not my MacBook, by the way. That is good. I'm thankful for the fact that I have this computer because I don't need it, but I have it and it's great. But it doesn't process things very well, so that's a totally different thing. But I may get it in the future. We'll see if it doesn't take that much storage or whatever that looks like. Regardless, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.